South Africa's national dialogue hits its first snag. 6 key foundations pull out before the launch. Israel greenlights Gaza's takeover. Is the West Bank next in line?
Johannesburg is ready to host the G20. Our infrastructure is world-class.
What does the mayor know that we don't? And Vusi Nova headlines Women's Day show with Grammy winner Anthony Hamilton.
EWN. In touch, in tune, and independent.
Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. The Umkhonto weSizwe Party has terminated the membership of its former Secretary General Floyd Shivambu. The party said Shivambu's recent public statements on the party mean he has defined himself outside of the party. Shivambu was demoted as the party Secretary General in June,
but also seriously violated the trust placed on them as a member of the party. In this regard, the decision has been taken to summarily terminate the membership of the former Secretary General, and a formal letter of expulsion was transmitted to him on the 15th of July 2025. Umkhonto weSizwe will not entertain any further exchanges on this particular matter.
Some foundations of former struggle stalwarts have pulled out of the upcoming national dialogue and its preparatory team. This includes the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, whose patron has been credited as the brain trust behind the dialogue. In a statement released this morning, the foundations have cited a rushed process, lack of citizen-led leadership, and the absence of an approved budget as some of their reasons.
The national dialogue has hit its first snag with just over a week to go. The foundations say the dialogue started off as a citizen-led initiative. However, it has now shifted to government control. They say the rushed date, lack of logistical planning means the dialogue no longer offers a meaningful platform for engagement. The foundations have also raised issue with the fact there is no approved budget allocation so far, meaning the funding of the dialogue risks violating government procurement regulations. The foundations have proposed rescheduling the dialogue to the 15th of October to address the outstanding issues. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
Israel's government has approved a plan to expand the war by taking control of Gaza City, despite military advice against it. President Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel doesn't plan to govern Gaza long-term, but wants a new Arab-led authority in place, not Hamas or the Palestinian Authority. His cabinet outlined 5 goals: disarm Hamas, return all hostages, demilitarize Gaza, establish Israeli security control, and install a new civil administration. Critics, including Israel's opposition leader, warn the plan risks more hostages' lives, more soldier casualties, and deeper international isolation. Meanwhile, humanitarian conditions in Gaza continue to worsen, with the UN warning famine is unfolding and aid remains severely limited. UNICEF says 28 children are killed every day. 4 officials have sustained injuries, including stab wounds, and an inmate has died following a violent altercation at the Oudtshoorn Correctional Centre in the Western Cape. Chaos broke out earlier this week after a search operation was carried out at the centre, confiscating contraband items, including cell phones and narcotics. Correctional services say in a clear act of retaliation yesterday, offenders from the same room launched a premeditated and violent assault on officials during unlock procedures. Of 18 officials on duty at the time, 4 sustained injuries, including stab wounds to the face, head and back.
The situation at the centre is now under control, and the offenders implicated have been placed in single cells.
More transport state-owned entities could see their boards replaced as government pushes a wider cleanup of failing organisations. The Department of Transport says the removal of the Road Accident Fund Board was just the start, with other entities, including PRASA and the Cross-Border Road Transport Agency, now under close scrutiny. But the Cross-Border Road Transport Agency has achieved its 10th clean audit, a rare success story in this sector.
The interim board will provide strategic direction to the entity, and it will also help ensure financial and governance stability.
With less than 3 months to go before the G20 summit in Johannesburg, Mayor Dada Morero is confident the city's infrastructure problems will be resolved in time for the international event. In November, heads of states from across the globe are expected to descend on South Africa for the summit of the world's emerging and developed economies. Johannesburg has been chosen as the host city, but some political parties have raised concerns over the state of infrastructure in relation to potholes, dysfunctional streetlights, and poor service delivery.
Johannesburg is ready to host the G20. Our infrastructure is world-class, except that where we have a bit of challenges, we're addressing those challenges.
The Pretoria High Court has ordered that the remains of former Zambian President Edgar Lungu be repatriated to Zambia for a state funeral. Gauteng Deputy Judge President Aubrey Ledwaba handed down the judgment, ruling in the government's favour. Lungu died in Johannesburg in June while receiving medical treatment. The court has ruled that the former president be buried at Lusaka's Embassy Park, where Zambian heads of state are traditionally laid to rest. So this also happened this week. The Patriotic Alliance has laid a criminal complaint against podcasters for insulting the coloured community. The party says next steps include lodging a case in the Equality Court and submitting a complaint at the South African Human Rights Commission after the podcasters referred to coloured people as mentally crazy and claimed they have sexual relations with their relatives. PA leader Gayton McKenzie says it's time coloured people stand up against stereotyping and racial discrimination.
I have no intention of destroying them. It has become too easy to insult colored people in this country.
Another major story making headlines, the CEO of the Independent Development Trust, Tebogo Malaka, has been caught on camera, allegedly trying to bribe a Daily Maverick journalist. The publication says Malaka and IDT spokesperson Pasha Makholane offered 60,000 rand in cash and more later to kill a story linked to IDT contracts and one of Malaka's luxury properties. Public Works Minister Dean McPherson has laid criminal charges for bribery and corruption, saying Malaka may have also violated her suspended terms by leaving Gauteng and engaging with IDT staff. The funeral of 16-year-old Kiara Joy Daniels will be held tomorrow, following an emotional memorial in Kels Rivier. Kiara was one of 4 young people killed in a car crash in Brackenfell. 2 other teens remain in hospital in serious condition. Also this weekend, singer Vusi Nova will headline the National Women's Day concert at DP World Wanderers on Saturday, joined by Grammy winners Anthony Hamilton and Joe Thomas, plus local stars Zonke and Sjava. Nova and Hamilton also dropped news of their new collaboration, Black Sweatshirt, a track Hamilton says brings a fresh and unexpected energy. And brace yourself for a cold, wet weekend. Temperatures are set to drop even further, especially in the Western Cape. Wet and windy conditions are expected on Saturday and Sunday, so take care on the roads and keep warm at home. And bye from us.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.